Today we are here at the beautiful PGA Hotel in West Palm Beach.
We are at the Markets Group Conference. It's a private wealth management conference. We're here with Marber Security, and also we're bringing the Authenticity Journey. The Authenticity Journey is a connection of intergenerational trust. It allows leaders to communicate their wisdom across generations.
Stay tuned. I think it's going to be an amazing experience. I can't wait.
Later on, I'll be having a roundtable on AI best practices and later participating in a panel about the future of wealth management, where we will discuss a little bit of AI, risk management, and a few other topics.
Okay, I'm very excited. We're here with the Authenticity Journey, and we have Michael here. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
I live in Boca Raton. I work with the registered investment advisory firm Klingenstein Fields Advisors. I'm from New York originally, and my journey took me down here about 6 years ago. And I guess you want me to answer a question for this?
Yes. What does legacy mean to you beyond wealth?
What it means to me personally is purpose. And I think the really successful families are those that have some purpose behind their wealth. And what I've tried to do in my own home, while we may not be a family that is similar to those that I work with, we've established some success. And what I try to embody my children with is having values and having an understanding that the wealth that we have, it's not just monetary, it's morality. And it's treating others the way you want and expect to be treated. And oftentimes that doesn't happen, so you have to lead by example. And I think things such as getting involved with charitable enterprises, working with people in need, and seeing where you could actually do some good. It's very difficult for one person to change the world, but if we can just help our community one person at a time, that becomes infectious, and maybe the world becomes a better place. So that is kind of what legacy means to me, beyond wealth.
Thank you so much. I love what you just shared, and I think this is a great opportunity to get to know you more, to get to know Michael as a human, because at the end of the day, the human experience is what brings us to life, is what builds connection, is what builds trust. So it's worthwhile. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure.
I'm Peter Golotko. I'm the CEO of CPS Investment Advisors. We're a RIA. We manage about just shy of $3 billion in assets for clients. And we're in Lakeland, Florida.
I have a few questions for you, okay? I can't wait to hear your wisdom. What does legacy mean to you beyond wealth?
Well, I never use wealth to look at my legacy. What I want people to remember my legacy is who I am and what I've given back to the community and the type of person I've become.
Yes, who are you at the deep core is the most valuable asset in life, and it's who you are as a human and what you bring to the world. Well, what advice would you give the younger generation?
Be humble. Be humble in everything that you do. People want to work with people they like, and people that are humble usually are people want to work with. So a lot of people want to think they know everything, when in reality we know very little about anything. So be humble and you'll get along with people a lot better.
I would love for you to share, what story do you hope your leadership will tell?
I think the way I treat people, the way I treat everybody from the top down, that's what I want people to see. Being in business is all about culture, and a lot of people don't realize that culture will eat strategy every day. So if you don't have the proper culture in business, you're not going to have a great business to run. So I want all of my employees and everybody that works with me to be happy to come to work every Monday morning and not dreading it on Sunday night.
I do agree with you. A healthy culture, a successful business, right? And a happy human. If humans are happy, if everyone in your company is happy, then you're naturally succeeding. Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and I hope to see you again, maybe on our next podcast.
Well, I'd be happy to.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Paul Zachary Shelton Jr., and I'm the CEO and Chief Investment Officer of Warwick Shore Advisors. It's a wealth management firm based in Orlando, Florida.
What does legacy mean to you beyond wealth?
So to me, legacy means the establishment of yourself into the future. And the reason I say that is I'll go into the past and speak about it. In 1918, my grandfather was born, and he is a black man in Arkansas. And he grew up during a time where it was very, very racially tense, but he was an entrepreneur. And he was one of the few black men that were hired by whites to do construction. He taught himself carpentry on an 8th grade education. And a lot of the things that he went through, the challenges that he faced, he was able to persevere past and have a very profitable career with building houses for others, building houses for himself. Fast forwarding to today, his legacy lives on through me as an entrepreneur myself, going through different challenges, especially in the economic climate and the cultural climate that we're in today. I've been able to still succeed and continue to build on what my passion is in wealth management. So that's how I see legacy, being able to cement your future today. You know, and so now I have something that I show to my kids, and they'll be my legacy hopefully going forward, and they'll be able to continue the trend in that respect. So that's how I view legacy.
Wow, that's amazing. Legacy is everything. Legacy is power, right? You're able to build something worthwhile, something beautiful, something with a strong foundation. And thank you. It's been a long day at the Wealth Management Conference in West Palm Beach at the PGA Hotel. We've met incredible people. We have heard so many different perceptions of life, and we're here now with Berton, and he's going to share his wisdom with us. Would you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Berton Brown. I'm a wealth advisor. I oversee and own a insurance agency that does life, health, and annuities. And I also started a franchise business in this location area in Palm Beach County and acquired another location that helps people improve their health and get better with their improvement of their balance, their strength, their agility, their bone density. It gives me so much good feeling to know that I'm giving back to people, even in the business model, being able to talk to people in the center and hear about how their lives have been improved, how they've been able to reduce the amount of pain that they have, how they've been able to live healthier and better lives because of what I've been able to bring into this area.
I do have a few questions for you. What does legacy mean to you beyond wealth?
Well, my grandmother did always say health is wealth, and that's where I came up with the premise of what I'm doing. And my legacy that I would like to leave for my daughter and for my family is that it's okay to pursue and go after a dream that you had for several years, and never saying it's the perfect time. It's never the right time to jump into something that's completely different and completely new for you. And so I think that once I see all these things through, that my legacy will be of that, is that it's okay to go jump after something if you think that it's going to also not only help and improve your own family, but improve the health and improve situations for so many other people that you can touch.
Sounds like a beautiful approach. Honestly, there's nothing more beautiful in life than being courageous enough to step out of your comfort zone and build the life you want. It's never late. Whatever is there in your heart that you're willing to build, then it's time. You have to just go out there and do it. Because as long as the heart beats, you're alive and everything is possible. How do you hope that your leadership impacts the next generation?
To continue on what I had just mentioned before, is that, going and pursuing the things that you feel are going to make an impact, and not being afraid to pivot at the same time, to step outside of maybe what everybody else is telling you is the right thing, or maybe it's not the right thing for you at that particular moment. And so it's going to be more and more interesting to see what the next generation is going to take with what the previous one and us and what we have done, and go with that from there, with the acceleration of all sorts of different additional helping devices, things like AI. We can't lose sight of the fact of our humanity.
when was that moment that you felt that it was time to step out of your comfort zone and actually build something different, something completely different from what you do?
I can't pinpoint the exact second or the exact moment that it happened, but it was a series of a light bulb that went off over the course of maybe a few weeks, where it just went, you always, for the last 5-6 years, it wasn't the right time. And it most certainly isn't the right time right now. But if you don't step into it and decide that it is the right time, even when it's not, then those times may have already passed, and you may not find out that it may have been the right time. You just didn't think it was. And so you almost have to trick yourself into getting to that point to where you really have to do it. Because if you don't have a way back at that particular point, then it's the only way to go forward is to go forward.
There is never the right time. Time is life, and as long as you're living, it's the moment where you have to create. You have to bring whatever it is that you desire to life. We don't know the next day. Life is temporary, and that's something we don't talk much about, but it really is. We're only here for a short period of time, and the idea that I'm leaving this for tomorrow, for the future, it's really not a wise idea. It doesn't really take us anywhere. I think understanding that what's in your heart should be built right now is the most beautiful way of growing and enhancing your life and the life of others, like you are doing right now with passion. What inner compass has helped you navigate seasons of changes?
Just trying to be true to yourself, trying to also improve on, yourself. Always trying to say, well, I may not know how to do that, but I will figure it out.
And that's a great response, because you may not know how to do it, you may not know how to change it, but you will figure it out. And that's what life is about. And understanding that we learn as we go, right? We don't have a solution for everything. The book is not written. Think of an empty page, and you have to write that book. So you learn as you go. There's no other way of actually living. What advice would you give the younger generation?
Definitely look to engage more with people in person, or even through technology, but use technology as a tool, or it's going to end up using you.
That is true. Technology has to be used with caution so that we don't lose our authenticity. And the human connection, that's what keeps us alive, right? Without the human connection, nothing really happens, nothing really transforms. In your opinion, what do you think it's missing in the world, in modern society today?
There is a quote that just comes to my head that I think of when you say that, and I think that we are all drowning in information now, but we are all starving for wisdom, and so that's what quote came to me when you'd asked me that.
Oh, and that's a beautiful, powerful quote. There's so much information out there, but even though there's so much given to us and we have all that knowledge in our hands, still, we are becoming so small as a human, and we're lacking real life, we're lacking love, we're lacking compassion, and yes, I think what we need more in the world is exactly what you said. More wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. And, more information does not always breed action. Oftentimes, more information can breed inaction, because then you just need more information to be able to make that decision, but then you keep getting more information, and oftentimes it conflicts, and therefore you aren't sure what to do, and you become less steadfast and more confused with more information. And so that's where the guidance and wisdom come in, to be able to also allude to potentially somebody that knows or has already been there before, and that can say, yeah, okay, that may be the right path for somebody, but that might not be the right path for you. And that's where the wisdom and guidance can really come in.
That's true. And what has fulfilled you the most in your personal life and career until today?
Well, I can say in career, when I get that certain client that says, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful I found you, which is from the previous quote, starving for guidance and wisdom. When I get that occasional feedback from a client, that feels really good for me. When I'm walking through one of my centers and somebody grabs me and they tell me about a story about how they were able to lift their grandkids for the first time in years, how they've been able to keep up with them going around in Disney World, or how their pain went away in their knees and they were able to drop 50 pounds. That's a story I'll never forget from a few years ago. That really fulfills me. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, it always makes me happy when I get to connect with other humans that are givers, that actually finds fulfillment in giving and in creating a positive impact in the life of others. And we need so much more of that. So it's very nice that I can see that it's in your heart and it's who you are at your core. And to finalize our conversation, what story do you hope your leadership will tell?
I think it has to be like from earlier, If you feel that there's another route that you can take, if you can do it in addition to. It might be a really, really tough road for a short while, but I'm sure at some point you'll be very happy that you went down that road. You'll be very happy that you fulfilled what you believe is, your purpose.
That's exactly what you are doing as a person. You are making sure that you're fulfilling what you believe, regardless of the challenges and regardless of having to step out of your comfort zone and create something completely different. You are there, you're standing strong, and you're building, and I'm pretty sure this is what your leadership will tell to the future generation. Thank you so much for joining us. It was such an amazing conversation. Thank you.
So my name is David Smithwick. I work with a firm called Polar Capital. We are a British-based asset management firm. I help do distribution for them. I'm based out of Nashville, Tennessee. Originally, I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we are here today at the Markets Group Forum to learn more about the investment industry, the macro environment, and try to get the word out on Polar Capital a little bit.
Hey, well, thank you for sharing with us. So, David, we have an authenticity journey question for you today. As you know, the authenticity journey is all about the human experience and sharing your wisdom with the future generation. So, David, what advice would you give your younger self?
It's funny that anybody would think that they'd come to me for wisdom. But listen, my wife and I, we have two younger daughters that are 9 and 12. And so I actually get confronted with this quite a bit because I see my younger self pretty much every day. But the one thing that I genuinely believe is to be true to yourself, be true to your friends, be true to your family, be true to your profession. As long as you kind of follow that creed, I feel like a lot of good things can come from that. We really like the idea of treating everybody else the way that we want to be treated. And we feel like if you're true to yourself, that's something that I try my best every day to do that. And I don't know if when I was younger that I did know that, but now that I've got kids, that is something that at least I like to try and instill in them. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, no,
thank you. And we hope to see you again, maybe for a future podcast.
Bring it on.
We would love to have you as a guest.
Bring it on.
Thank you so much, David. Diana is ready to share some wisdom with us. Diana, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, hello, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Diana Verity. I am a mom, a wife, a banker, a career woman. I have seen many levels of life, and I'm also involved in my community. So I'm a community member.
Very nice. What does legacy mean to you beyond wealth?
Legacy could mean so many different things for so many different people, but the number one point that everybody thinks when you ask about legacy, they think it's number sign, right? It's about how much were you able to accumulate during your lifetime. Well, I think you need to think about legacy as beyond that. Legacy is about what you leave behind as who you are, not what you left behind monetarily, but what you left behind as your footprint. To me, my footprint is going to be my impact on my community, and I am involved with the community. Literacy is one of my main ideals. It's part of the moral structure, my focus for my family and I. And so I give back to the community through the Library Foundation, chairing committees, being part of the board, as well as hosting some of the dinners during our literary feast events.
And that's amazing. Building community is such a beautiful, powerful way of creating something amazing, and you get to connect with so many different amazing people, and it actually enhances our lives when we build community. So I love that.
Where you work, where you raise your family, that means that you have to do the same with your community.
Very nice. And so your legacy to this world is
Giving back to my community.
giving back to your community. That's beautiful. And what inner compass has helped you navigate season of change?
After all is said and done, all the mistakes and everything, I think that one of the main ones that I would always go back to, and I would suggest everybody to really follow, is here. It's what drives you. It's your core, right? Your own intuition. If you quiet everything around you, and I mean really quiet everything around you, go for a walk, be one with nature, you will be able to understand what your own is telling you, right? Have you ever stepped into an office or someone's home and not feel comfortable? Your gut is telling you something, follow it. There's something wrong with that space, with that situation. The same thing goes whenever you're thinking about doing something positive, or you're thinking about doing something and all of a sudden everything starts falling into place, and you follow your gut, you follow your instinct. So your compass is your instinct, your gut feeling.
I completely agree with you. I'm personally a yogi. I've been a yogi for years, and we tend to say that we hold everything in the solar plexus, which is our belly, which is where your intuition, our feelings, emotions, everything is held here in the core, in the belly. So I completely agree with you. What's one mindset shift that helped you unlock new levels of leadership?
Really what has helped me to unlock leadership and go to the next level has been stop talking down to myself and seek, if I need to seek for somebody else to be my advocate, go for it, right? If I need that kind of push, do it. But don't talk negatively about yourself to yourself. If you want to do it, just go for it. If it's aggressive, just go for it. Don't let a small obstacle be the one blocking you, and more than anything, don't block yourself. That would be what has helped me to go to the next level.
And I love that, because a lot of times we tend to empower others, lift others up, but we actually don't empower ourselves. We talk down to ourselves. We really don't realize our worth and our value. So
I think
that's a great point.
What happens a lot is that we're afraid, right? And so when you're afraid, you talk yourself down. When you're afraid, you put the blocks in front of you on your own. So that's why I would say just be able to, again, let's go back to your solar plexus. Let's go back to your core, to your instinct, and don't be afraid. Just go for it. The worst thing you can do is you fail and you learn from it, right? It's like riding a bicycle. At the beginning, it hurts when you fall, and then all of a sudden you never fall again.
Absolutely. What story do you hope your leadership will tell?
That I got over being afraid, that I was able to shift, that I was able to take my own advice and get past things and build enough confidence to not build other people, but to build myself and move forward.
That's beautiful. You were able to be courageous enough to build your life without fear, or maybe with fear, but still moving through it and giving yourself a chance to build everything you're building right now. In leadership, you're building community, you're building so much. So
Yeah, or being in front of the camera right now, right?
stepping out of her comfort zone, right? And what a beautiful way. At first you were not extremely comfortable with it, but you're doing amazing. And you may even realize that that's you. That's something you love doing and you just didn't know. So stepping out of our comfort zone is allowing ourselves to actually get to know ourselves, to discover life, to know every version of ourselves that are hidden there because we're just not allowing. We're just hiding.
Don't hide behind yourself. Again, don't have that block. Don't put that block in front of yourself. Bring it down. Have confidence in you.
Well, thank you so much. That's amazing. I think confidence is everything. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. You've shared so many beautiful, empowering words, and we'll hope to see you soon, maybe for a full podcast.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you so much.
My name's Yesenia. I work here at Markets Group on the Alternative Series, and I'm very excited to share some of my words of wisdom with you guys.
Thank you. Welcome to the Authenticity Journey. Yesenia, what does legacy mean to you beyond wealth?
So, legacy is something that you want to leave behind after you go to your children and your children's children. So, beyond wealth, something that's very important is the mentality and the way that you think. You want to hope that everyone remains a high morality, as well as a good work ethic as well. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And what inner compass has helped you navigate changes?
So with change, I always see the glass half full. I'm a very positive person, and even when things go wrong, I always try to see what is life teaching me. What can I learn from every problem in my life or every situation to just get the best outcome.
We're always learning, right?
Absolutely.
As we know, life is a constant journey, and if you are willing to live, then you are willing to learn. So what story do you hope your leadership will tell?
So as a first-generation Cuban born in the United States, I hope to show my story to my family and my friends and everyone around me that I started with nothing, and I'm here and I'm grateful and just happy, and I wake up every day with a smile.
It's so beautiful when you're able to build your life, right?
Yeah.
From nothing and create a meaningful life from nowhere, just from your inner strength, your desire to change, your desire to build something. I think that's what brings beauty into life, right?
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you would like to share when it comes to your human experience? What's your perception of life as you walk forward, as you grow, as you experience this beautiful journey? What's your perception?
I like to tell everyone that even if you don't like someone, they always have something to teach you. So always go into everything with an open mind and with zero judgment.
Okay, Thank you for sharing. And how do you naturally build powerful, meaningful connections?
By asking questions and, caring about what the other person has to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you see vulnerability? What's vulnerability to you? Is it a hard place to come from? Is it empowering?
Vulnerability can definitely be very difficult, but if you oversee that and just put yourself in uncomfortable situations and just deal with it with confidence, it always has a positive outcome.
Have you ever learned any lesson from life from just being a human when it comes to stepping out of your comfort zone?
A career change is definitely a time where that always happens. It could be very scary because you're very comfortable where you're at and you don't know where you're going to be in the future. But it's kind of like driving. When you're driving, you only see 200 meters in front of you, and you don't see what's going to come after, but it's going to be okay. And always at the end, it all works out at the end. Yeah.
To finalize our quick conversation, what changes would you like to see in the world as you grow older?
Acceptance. I hope more people can just accept each other and, be happy for what everyone's truth is. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. You've shared so much with us, and thank you for being vulnerable, authentic, and for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's the end of the day. We are pretty tired, right?
Yes.
But I did manage to get Lance to share his wisdom with us. Lance is part of Markets Group. Well, Lance, can you share a little bit of yourself with us?
Of course. So Lance Fair, I've been with Markets Group for 3 years. I'm one of our senior program manager in investor relations. This is my fourth time, weirdly enough, running our Private Wealth Florida event, and year over year I've been able to kind of grow it and make it a lot different. New speakers, new faces that I have to see every day, so it's always an exciting time and a very stressful day, but we made it to the end.
Knowing that you are in leadership, right, with Markets Group, what's one mindset shift that has helped you unlock your levels of leadership? Your new levels of leadership.
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to have been put into one of our senior roles, and for me specifically, having seen what some of the other folks that have trained me and shown me how to teach each other what new things to do, I always find that it's the little things that really make a difference. I always turn it back to this event. For me, it's stand up, introduce myself, stand out. I have a very loud voice. I'm well aware of that. It travels well. But I always want people to know that I'm approachable. They can come find me. And in the event space for us, I think that's very, very key, because you have to be the face. Everybody has to know that they can come to you when they have questions, things like that. So for me, it's learning how to do that and teach that skills to others in that leadership role, or not leadership role, but from my perspective, and kind of have that trickle down to everybody.
Hey, thank you for sharing. Quick question: what is authenticity to you? How do you, or maybe explain to us, how do you move through life, or even in leadership at Markets Group? How do you lead with authenticity? What's your approach?
For me specifically, authenticity is really about it's always be who you are. For me at these events, what you see, no matter if I am stressed, running around hectically, that's who I am. I am going to be the person that is loud. He's out there. I'm smiling. I'm happy as much as I can. And I think that's always a really good trait. And that it's infectious to other people. And I think that's always really important. If you can be infectious to somebody else, in a good way, obviously,
yes,
that's really important, because that starts bringing people out of their shells. So that's probably how I would explain the authenticity side for me, and kind of how it translates to what I do.
Sounds like you do bring your human side into your leadership style.
I try.
Which helps a lot. You're very authentic, right? Just speaking with you earlier, you mentioned, I'm here. I've been running around. I'm not ready, but you can see the authenticity. Your personality shines. So that's very interesting. One last question, okay, and I'll let you go, because I know you had a long day. What story do you hope your leadership will tell as you move forward?
The key there, we're very early in being able to, have that senior title and everything. For me, I don't want to change who I was, no matter what the title is or anything like that, or who reports to me or anything like that. I want to be who I was from day one, and I think that's very important. And I also always sounds bad, but I like to be able to know the why and the how and the things like that rather than just going, okay, sure. So that's probably how I would say that.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope we see you again in the next conference. This has been amazing. He did an amazing, outstanding job here at Markets Group. We're very happy. It's our second conference, and we plan on coming again because you're just doing an outstanding job. Thank you so much.
We appreciate that, and I appreciate that. You know, we're glad to have you guys. This is obviously a little bit different for us as well, so I'm pretty sure it was well received as well. So we appreciate y'all as well.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming us, welcoming the authenticity journey. I know it's a completely different new approach, but thank you for welcoming us.
Of course. Y'all are always welcome.
Thank you.
I was participating in a panel discussion, and it was about practice management and the future of wealth management. I was prepared to speak about AI. However, the main topic of organizational culture and authenticity and intergenerational trust came up. So to me, that resonated more than the current topic of AI, which we can speak about that at any time. So that shifted the direction of the conversation a little bit. We resonate really well with authenticity, building intergenerational trust, and more importantly, transferring leadership wisdom from one generation to the next. And that is really the concept behind the authenticity journey. So at Marber Security, our first core value is integrity, and that's why the authenticity journey is so important to us, because it's at the core value of what we believe. We believe in transferring wisdom, transferring things to the next generation beyond just wealth. And for our clients, it resonates really well, because cybersecurity is just a service, but the core values and intergenerational trust for us are more important, and we value delivering exceptional service. We created the authenticity journey because we believe in intergenerational trust and helping safeguard leadership wisdom and transferring that to the next generation. Thank you.